Hi and welcome to week 4. Hopefully week 3 went really well for you last week. Obviously we were discussing parent, adult, child, and the activity was around trying to identify what ego state that you're in when you want to divert from the plan that you have made. As I said last week, you're never an adult when you want to make a decision like that. So hopefully that was successful for you. This week, week 4, I think it's really, really important to have a look at what exactly is involved in making a change, because obviously we're losing weight, we're eating differently. All of those things are changes that need to be maintained to maintain the weight loss. So really, really important to understand that it's not just a case of, eat less, do more, that famous old saying that I love so much. Okay, so I want to look at 2 cycles of change, okay? The first one I'm going to touch on very, very quickly. It's just more a bit of information for you, okay? So there's one that's called the cycle of change. And it describes what happens in the run-up to making or attempting to make a change, all right? And there are 6 stages in this. So the 6th stage, I'll cover at the end. So stage number 1 is pre-contemplation. Stage number 2, contemplation. Stage number 3, preparation. Stage number 4, action, and stage number 5 is maintenance. So what is pre-contemplation? Well, this is when you are sort of aware that there's a problem, but you're not prepared to do anything about it. You're not going to make any changes. You don't want to make any changes. Second stage then is contemplation. So that's when you're aware there's a problem, you're aware that you should really change it, and you're open to that idea, but you haven't put the wheels in motion yet. Stage number 3 then, preparation, is when you want to make the change, you're preparing to make the change, and you're committed to that. So for example, this could be the stage when you're looking up what kind of food plan you're going to follow, what kind of exercise you can do, joining a slimming club, any of those things. Probably to put that into gastric surgery talk, that would probably be the stage when you're looking at booking your operation or researching surgeons, that kind of thing. Stage number 4 then is action. So that's when you're doing it. Again, that's very much when you're following your food plans, etc., etc. Stage number 5 then is maintenance. So you've made the change, you're doing what you need to do to maintain the change. Stage number 6 then, I've specifically left it to the end because it can come in at any time, and that is relapse. So that's where you relapse into your old habits. Now, that can be very, very, very short-lived. That can be a small period of time where you gain a few pounds and then get back on track. Or it can be a longer period of time where maybe, in fact, people have regained all of their weight and therefore they're back to the start of that cycle of change. So just to give you a little insight into that, the one I want to focus on today, which I think is really, really key for us to understand, is the emotions around making a change. And I found something that was a really great read, and it's called The Emotional Cycle of Change. Now, this one has 5 cycles. And this was developed by 2 people, Dawn Kelly and Daryl Connor. All right, now the first stage of this is uninformed optimism. All right, now the kinds of emotions that go along with that are, real excitement. You're focused on the feelings here, not necessarily the doing. So if you think of this, when you're booking your surgery, you're absolutely buzzing for it. You're not really thinking of the dangers too much. Maybe you've considered them already, but at booking stage, well, I don't know. That was definitely an exciting phase for me. So it's uninformed optimism. The key word there is uninformed because you haven't started. It's just, you're just going off your gut feelings. You've no evidence to back it up is really the key thing. Now, how do we capitalise on this stage? Well, we set our goals. We use these feelings of excitement and use them to generate motivation. All right, so again, you can see that's why we've used that stage for goal setting. Okay, stage number 2 then is informed pessimism. So you've started, and this is going to come along with things like you're going to be saying things like, this is bigger than I thought, this is tough. So it's going to be feelings of anger, frustration, guilt maybe, that you've ended up in this situation, that you need to make this change. We're going to address that in the activity. Stage number 3 then is hopeful realism. All right, so you realise that maybe you can do it. Now, it is based on evidence because you've been doing it for a little while. There's maybe still some negative emotions there, but it's toned down, okay? So the informed pessimism stage is the tougher stage. Hopeful realism is when you're starting to turn a corner a little. Stage 4, informed optimism, okay? You've done it for a while, you're sure that you've made the right choice, you're feeling less anxious about problems, all right? Still, there can be negative feelings, of course. As I keep saying, it's not about being super happy, clappy, positive, it's about being realistic. But at this stage, you may even inspire someone else to embark on a similar change. And then stage 5 is completion. Now, I'm not 100% sure I want to focus too much on that. I don't know that we're ever completed here, but that's, you've made the change and you're maintaining it. So I thought it was really important to refer back to the first one, because I think maintenance and relapse are really, really key. And I don't think, that we're going to hit the goal weight and everything's going to be peachy. Right, activity for this week then. So I want you, if you're feeling like deviating from your plan, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, are you in the informed pessimism stage? What is going on for you right now? So we're starting to dig a bit deeper here. How do you feel about the changes? Do you believe that you can do it? All right. So if you find that you're procrastinating or feeling negative at this point, you may be starting to check out. So it's really key that you catch yourself here. And again, there are things that you can do to sway yourself back on track. So revisit those goals. I'm going to keep saying it, but revisit them. Make sure that they're still achievable. That's a really key thing too. So you might find yourself slipping a bit deeper into informed pessimism. And it could be a case of, I have too short a space of time to achieve this goal. Revisit it, reset it. That's not a failure. That's just great planning. And review your support network. Now, we see this a lot on social media. If somebody said, I'm not getting the right support at home, all right, and be that from partner, family, all right, and people are straight in there, oh, people need to support you and people need to do this. Sometimes when someone doesn't understand obesity, it can be really, really difficult to support us. So I would have a good look at that and make sure that you're clearly communicating what you need from people. And if you're not getting it at home, if you have clearly communicated what you're needing and you're not getting it from home, then look to build a support network elsewhere. We've got this channel. There's lots of great groups on Facebook, a great community on TikTok as well. Reach out to people who understand if you can't get it at home. Right, so this week's quickfire question, if you haven't got time to look at all that, and this is where we're starting to get a bit deeper into the counselling. So I would encourage you, even if you don't really feel like deviating this week, I would encourage you to do this activity anyway, all right? Have a quick think about it. Your quickfire question, if you need it, is what would I do if I genuinely believed in myself and my ability to make the changes? And in small print, the changes that you've set in your goals with your plan. So what would you do if you genuinely believed in yourself and your ability to make those changes? And that's it for this week. Have the best week, okay? Make sure you take the time out. Let's get that reflective space in there, get ourselves to adult, and have a real think about the changes going on. Have a fab week. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.